Hey, it's the Fort Worth Playboy.
And my Playboys Bunny.
And today's topic is most men are just not that interested.
This is something that we talk about a lot just in private.
Because when you're kind of immersed in this world of game and women and, you know, this part of Twitter.
Well, and we have a double whammy. We're immersed in fitness and we're immersed in game and Twitter and our little
Which
neighborhood.
are two extremes.
Yeah.
What people tend to forget is, like most of us and most of the people that will seek this out and actually hit play and listen to it, we're far more interested and proactive, not just interested, but actually live the lifestyle of taking care of yourself physically, eating well, pursuing women, and making good money, however you do it.
Yes, absolutely.
These are all successful things.
It's a high performance neck of the woods.
But and we've been, the more that we've been doing this Twitter thing and dealing with relationships and stuff, we'll talk about that in a second. But like what we know, especially being in fitness, like when people go, what percentage of people could do, you know, squat 4 wheels or squat 3 wheels? And here's the deal. Less than 1% of the U.S. population exercises regularly. Right. You think that's impossible. 90% are overweight or obese.
Yeah.
1% exercise. And you think, oh, that's impossible. That's because you don't really realize how big this country is and how many people are out there. And the only way you can do it is use your eyes. Go to a Walmart, an Applebee's, a airport, a football game. You know, a major pro sporting event, and look around.
Well, and what we've talked about too is that the eye is so skewed. We're so used to everyone being bigger that even obese people, technically obese people, medically obese people, are almost look average weight at this point.
Exactly.
It's terrifying.
Your eye is skewed. In the last 10 years, maybe 20, because if you see the silhouette, and like a cutout silhouette, of a person who is at an ideal weight, they look thin.
Now they look
thin.
Absolutely.
You know, and your average woman is 5'4" and 170 pounds. She's a circle.
Ugh.
You know? And so you have to realize what we've also been coming to realize over time is, you know, guys will be like, well, you know, he married a 5, you know, he's not, how alpha can he be, blah, blah, blah. Well, here's the deal. Most men are just not that interested in women as we are. Yeah. Or as you are.
Yeah.
And have never, to them, it's like, it's not nearly as interesting as a muscle car.
Right.
Or their fantasy football league.
Exactly.
I mean, they truly derive pleasure from these things or these hobbies or even fucking RC cars of all things. And girls are like, okay, they'll do.
It's true.
I have sex a couple times a year. I'm good. You know, I mean, you think of a bell curve, you know, on the far end is guys that never have sex that everybody talks about.
Yeah.
Then it comes up and this huge mass in the middle of guys that are kind of like, yeah, girls are okay. Yeah. You know, I got a wife. I've had sex with like 5 girls in my lifetime. You know, and then you keep going down to the other end. That's where most of us are. Yeah. You know, it's something that we've been thinking about since we were like puberty hit, and you're like, holy shit, girls. You know, and then like it's all you think about. Right. You know, it's a part, and they come into your life, and you're going through tens, hundreds of them over the years. Or you're in industries that expose you, like we've talked about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, But we're very the anomaly.
We're the anomalies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, most guys will never eat chicken breasts and rice or lift a weight or jog. They might power walk across the parking lot and get winded. They're married to a 4. Yeah. You know, and they have 5 kids, and that's great. And they're happy as a lark. Yeah. You know, I mean, that's the vast majority. Most men are not. The men that you're competing, it's like these guys always go, yeah, well, she can get a lot of guys online. She got like 1,100 matches.
Right.
Well, 1,000 of those, the guy is holding a fish in one picture. He's sitting on a dead deer in the next one.
Yeah.
He's wearing sunglasses and a baseball cap in every picture.
Every picture.
And that's it. You know, I mean,
it's true.
That's the vast majority of men out there.
Well, like there used to be a phrase that kind of went through the Twitter sphere a little bit more than I see it now, and I don't ever see it now for no reason whatsoever, but it was, you have no competition.
No.
You have literally just being in our neighborhood on Twitter, literally just listening to this podcast.
You're in the top 1%.
You have no competition. You're in the top 1%.
Even if you're not fit, but you're striving to be.
Yeah.
You're already in the top 10%.
Right.
You know, I mean, the vast majority of Americans are in absolutely horrendous physical shape.
Even if you're not wealthy, but you're striving to be. Even if you're not.
You're still kind of like when I put out the. Would you rather be in a third world country doing an online business for $800 a month, or a manager at a dollar store in Waterloo, Iowa, for $1,400? People are like, "Well, I could never live." That's the majority.
That's what the majorities.
That's the majority of people's life. I mean, online businesses. What you see when you talk to guys that are making six figures or $8,000 a month, which is what it takes, 888, you know.
Yeah.
They're in the top 1% of online businesses.
Yeah.
99% of online businesses make less than $1,000 a month.
Right.
It's not what you think it is.
And people who are making $1,000 a month on online businesses are thrilled to be making $1,000 a month.
Exactly.
Because it's extra.
Let's say you are the general manager of the dollar store in Waterloo, Iowa, and you're making or the weekend manager $1,400, and now you've got this little side business where you teach people how to play basketball at a high level online, and you're making another $1,400. You're like, holy shit! I just doubled
my income.
Yeah, you're now riding high. You know, I mean, seriously. I mean, that's where, out of respect, online businesses are game and life changers for people.
Yeah.
Because they can keep their day job.
Yeah.
And then they can do the side gig that brings them in enough money that they can pay the rent. Then all of a sudden their rent money or their mortgage payment is now cash.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's little, it adds up. But the vast majority aren't making $8,000 a month.
Right.
No. Just like the vast majority of people aren't walking around with a 315 bench. You know,
right,
it's just,
right.
You know, a lot of it, again, it's who you're around.
Yeah. It's what you're exposed to, you know. If you're fit all the time and it's important to you, most likely most of your friends are also active, are also fit. If you are a high achiever, you're not giving your time to people who aren't always also high achievers because you respect your time and others.
Right.
All kinds of things.
And guys, the anomaly may be womanizers, because you can have a broke skateboarder, musician, bartender.
Yeah.
And he's running...
We're not naming any names.
He's running sevens through the mattress on the floor in his one-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
And you would never know it. You know it because he's always got a smile on his face. But, you know, that's...
Why is that guy
and
so
his buddies aren't getting any pussy.
Yeah.
You know, that's the weird thing about game or when it comes to women is you can be the anomaly and all your buddies are like, how does he do it?
Yeah.
He just doesn't give a fuck. And the guy's just walking out with another girl.
Yeah.
You know?
That's how.
Exactly. He doesn't give a fuck. But in general, if you're in business and at high levels or you're in fitness at higher levels, you're surrounded by other people that are the same.
Yeah.
And again, most guys that pick up women easily are naturals. Mm-hmm. You know, most don't learn it over time.
But it can be learned over time.
Yeah.
It's just that I think that once people hit, mid-20s, they're kind of a little bit set. So you have to actually work to learn this stuff. You have to actually work to make changes.
Yeah.
You know, once you reach adulthood and kind of settle in, I think that it takes a concerted effort. And there are people even our neighborhood of Twitter that have clearly made a concerted effort to make these changes.
Huge. And they do. Again, I would say...
But that makes them top 1% just there.
And this is my... You know, if you're looking at self-improvement, the absolute easiest is fitness.
Yeah.
Because generally, 45 pounds is 45 pounds.
Yeah.
A bar and 245s is 135 no matter where you're at.
Yeah.
And it's very straightforward. If you eat well and train consistently and heavy, you will see a physical difference in your body. Business is not as, I would say game is the second hardest because women can be less predictable. Mm-hmm. And then business is the least predictable.
Yeah.
Because you can do everything right in business.
Work your ass off, all the things.
You just have bad luck.
Yeah.
Or you have great luck and you don't do anything and it shows up.
The other bonus to fitness is as you get, it's a natural confidence builder as well.
Very much so. It feeds into the other thing. Gives you energy.
It feeds into other things.
Gives you energy, gives you clarity.
Clear heads.
People are a little bit more respectful to you, and you know when you're dealing with them in person.
It's true.
They can't see you on the phone. It's a little less hard, but you know then I think game can be learned. And I say game. I probably spent 2 years, you know, focusing hard.
Yeah.
Had fitness already in line and business in line. But 2 years invested hard. And I would say for a guy that's focused and younger, probably 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
You're going to start, 6 months, you're going to see results.
Yeah.
You know, within a year, it'll be pretty ingrained. So that's pretty rapid. Yeah. That's actually probably faster than fitness.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'd say it usually takes at least 2 or 3 years before people go, hey, do you lift weights?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and here's what's fascinating to me about, I mean, I like that you are very open at talking about, like, when I set out to learn game, I put this many minutes in every single day. Here's what I studied.
Easily,
I literally, because you are naturally, you're already tall, you're already very good looking. You know, you already were very good with women pre-marriage. You know, you had a lot of natural attributes that were existing. They were almost laying dormant, though.
Yeah.
You know, because you were married for
12 years.
12 years. So, you know, you were coming out of that, and you know, you kind of get your dick kicked in when you go through a divorce, whether it's your choice or not your choice or what. It's hard on the psyche.
And your identity is different.
Your identity is different, and the times are much different.
Very much so.
You know, even a decade can make a huge difference in the way that girls are responding or behaving, I should say, carrying themselves. And I think that was especially true with your time frame. But that you actually set out to say, I've got to learn this. Yeah. This is what I'm studying. This is what I'm going to devote time to it every single day.
I'm going to invest in it.
Yeah.
Because, again, I thought the self-improvement aspect was fascinating.
Yeah.
And then as soon as, you know, I kind of like stumbled on royalty, I was like, okay. And it took a while. I mean, I'd say it took me like the first 6 to 8 weeks, just kind of like I would read until I saw a word that I didn't understand, and I'd have to go look it up.
Right.
You know, I mean, like, I've had to use these examples before, and I'm blanking out right now, of course. But anything that's game, you know, like what's a player? What's a player exactly? You know.
Well, there are lots of phrases and turns of phrase
so many
that
things,
are used.
Like qualification, anti-qualification. You know, I mean, there's so much in game, and the language that we take for granted because we use it all the time.
Right.
You don't know it.
It came from somewhere.
Yeah, it comes from, you got to figure out what and how it all, you know, like irrational self-confidence, abuse mastery. These are, I mean, think of what abuse mastery. You don't know.
Soft necks, hard necks, I mean, all of these things. Yeah.
Teasing. I mean, people kind of get an idea, but how do you really use it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But these are all things. But again, the vast majority of men have no idea of any of the things that we've just talked about.
No. Or they have no idea, and they have
no interest. Yeah. Never look down on a guy that doesn't have any interest in this. He simply doesn't have any interest.
Yeah.
He's as uninterested in it as you are interested in it.
And he's happy as a lark with his life the way he is.
That's where we have to, you can't project your values on other men.
And we're terrible about this, by the way.
Yeah.
We are the world's worst at projecting what we believe on other people.
I mean, I got better because, I mean, like, you know, what I've really, you know, realized after 40 years in fitness is, you know, because, you know, once you kind of like start socializing and going out and people go, what do you do for a living? Well, I own a gym. They like start looking at their feet and they're like, yeah, I don't really work out. And you're like, yeah, most people don't.
Yeah, you're like,
don't worry about it.
I don't.
Yeah, you don't. They'll like stop eating the chicken wing or whatever.
Seriously,
you're like,
it's
no,
bizarre.
no. We don't think about any of this stuff when we're not in the gym. Do what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, just like they're like, I'm really fat, and I'm like, well, most people are fat.
Yeah. It's
true.
You're
the majority.
People will avoid, and people avoid going out with us because they assume that we don't do anything or drink or that we don't.
And we really didn't in our 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
Probably early 40s. You're like, hell, I'm never going to get to go out and do anything. I got to go do something, because that. If you're in your 20s and 30s and you're in fitness, you're generally like pretty disciplined.
Yeah.
And then by your 40s or 50s, you're like, shit, I've never gone out. I never go out to dinner. I never,
Right.
You start getting kind of pissed off. You're like, that's the real deal.
And you still eat boring food whenever we go out.
Yeah, I still eat like I did when I was 14. Which is how every fitness person eats.
It's true.
It's the same stuff.
It's true. It's true.
But anyways, so we wanted to give you guys that perspective of two people with probably, 70 years experience combined.
That makes us sound very old.
Very old. Lots of experience. But don't project your values on others. They'll come to you if they have questions.
Yeah.
And
know that by listening to this, by being involved in the different areas where you encounter us, you are truly
an elite.
Yeah. Yeah. You're the anomaly in the best way possible.
Yeah. And people do admire it. It's just not something that they admire enough to do themselves. And that's cool.
They don't have the discipline to do it themselves, which is hard
and that's
not to look down on. But,
and that's okay. So we hope you guys have a good night.
Bye.